This is the April Fool's Day episode, by the way. And I didn't know what to do with April Fool's Day because I didn't know what prank to pull on the listener. So I'm like, what if I play a prank on Ben? So.
Oh, fuck you, Neil. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So we're watching Cartoon All Stars to the rescue.
God, Jesus fucking Christ.
You evil bastard.
Yeah. I'll probably put this on YouTube because nobody has ever claimed this.
The fucking Smurfs.
Yep. Only a few years after Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This is the anti-Roger Rabbit. Like, this is the crossover where you're like, oh my god, who cares? Like, it was cool to see Donald and Daffy in the same cartoon. This is just like...
Donald calls Daffy.
Yeah.
He doesn't call Daffy a fucking...
the name of H.P. Lovecraft's cat. Alf's back in Pog form.
You want to help track down the thief, Garfield? Hey, going through life with a blue lampshade.
They could have done so much more with this.
With Lorenzo Music and Gordon Shenway.
Yep.
Let me rephrase that. Do you want to help?
That's the only joke.
Yeah, it's more of a reference.
Yeah. Wow, this is overmodulated as fuck.
They could. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was just talking about this with someone, how in this era it sounds more like they were using computer pitch shifting on the Chipmunks, because their dialogue sounds a lot more natural than it did in the first few seasons.
Oh my God, Neil! I'm already bored with this. Disney agreed to this?
Disney produced this. This is Buena Vista.
Fucking Disney.
Roy Disney himself convinced all these people to contribute to this.
Except for actual animators.
Yeah, that kind of shit. It's like what actually launched him. That didn't quite work.
Well, there's two Disney properties together again.
Yeah, now. Kermit was not Disney at this point in history.
What? Wasn't there some sort of weird licensing agreement though that almost made them? Oh, Jesus Christ!
I think Henson was just on the verge of doing a deal with Disney to acquire the Muppets, and because the last thing he ever produced for the Muppets was their trip to Disney World, and then he died.
The sound of a breaking piggy, if ever I've heard one. Two sounds you can't miss: a breaking piggy and the sizzle of hot lasagna.
Lorenzo Music sounds like he's so done with this.
Yeah.
He's always sound bored doing fucking Carvio.
But he sounds really bored here.
He sounds like he's being tortured.
Yeah.
You know, this is one where he's like, can we get Bill Murray instead?
Now, I have never done a drug in my life, and even I would tell you that this is propaganda.
Not done drugs either. Like the
I've done many drugs.
The closest I came to was smelling the aftermath of marijuana in the high school bathroom.
Yeah, I was such a dork. I went to a concert once. I'm like, what is that weird smell? Something's burning. And then I was like, oh, I know what that is.
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What the fuck is that? Like, I don't know what drugs are supposed to look like, but what the fuck is that?
Yeah. It's a serious no-no.
Like, is this paraphernalia anywhere near correct, Red?
I only had a quick glimpse. I don't know what the fuck that is in that box.
Looked like
one of them looked like a fucking sewing needle spool.
Yeah, I think there was like sewing scissors and I don't know.
Jesus. What's wrong with your liver, kid? I think you're doing more than marijuana.
Jesus Christ. How long is this fucking thing?
A half hour.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This aired without commercials.
All right, let me get my knife here. Red, which way to mean it and which way to get attention?
It's if you want to end it all, it's down the street, not across the lane.
They brought in poor Frank Welker for this.
Yeah.
Frank Welker does half the voices in this.
Where did you get the money for this stuff, Michael? What difference does it make? I got it, didn't I?
Oh, I
Now,
forgot.
somebody was making a dig at the Planeteers in this part because these kids look exactly like the fucking Planeteers.
They kind of do.
What's that, crystal meth?
Yeah, it's Wheeler. Look at that. I never realized that before. Wheeler.
I noticed it when I was a kid.
What is this? Is that supposed to be crack or fucking crystal meth? I don't even know. anymore.
I think they
It's
said
crack.
crack. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think at some
Crystal
point he
meth
goes,
wasn't invented until way later.
at some point he says, "Crack. That's serious stuff."
Like, what's the chance that they're after like a bunch of kids with multiple squad cars for just some crack?
If there's a snitch in the arcade, pretty big chance.
Sorry, pal. At times like this, you're on your own.
Great. It was my first time. Honest.
The message here is don't do drugs because the police will get you.
Huh?
Oh my God, Warner
This is-
Brothers, you got on this? Jesus Christ!
This is the first time ever that Bugs Bunny was recorded by someone other than Mel Blanc.
That's sad for the wrong reasons.
And according to Ferris Wheelhouse, they actually talked to Mel Blanc right before he died. He almost did this.
Did he refuse or did he have a medical reason?
No, he was going to do this, and then he died. He recorded a couple albums where he participated in an anti-drug album as a lot of the Looney Tunes characters, being out of character because they're not funny. So you got like Foghorn Leghorn being like, I said don't do drugs, son.
This Bunny's scale keeps changing too much.
Yeah.
Sounds like some kind of animation aficionado, Ben.
Not to mention this goes against the rules of Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Like Red, you were telling me, and Neil, you're telling me too that that Bugs Bunny has certain rules that he doesn't ever outright antagonize anyone at first. He responds.
Mm-hmm.
He retaliates. He never antagonizes.
Of course, you know this means war.
Exactly.
Corey, is your brother all right? He's been acting so strange lately. You know, we love you both.
So has Pooh entered the public domain yet?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Not the Disney Pooh, that's for sure.
Oh no, I mean the real Pooh.
I don't know. Possibly. Because that's how Disney holds on to their properties. They just kind of change them a little over the years.
Yeah.
So one day Mickey Mouse will technically be public domain, but they'll be able to hold on to him because they just keep reinventing him.
Steamboat Willie Mickey the Mouse, I think, is about to. But they're going to basically say modern Mickey was invented in 56, so, you know, you can have Steamboat Willie. And it's like...
What they do is what they did last time is approach a senator and say, hey, you want a few $1 million? Extend the fucking public access.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things Thomas Revore ever said was to call it a real life Mickey Mouse operation.
Yep.
Hey, Dad. And where's the color?
Listen, kid, this is the past, and the past is in black and white. Get it? This is the bit where your whole life flashes before your eyes. Do you recognize that guy, perchance?
I would have thought the past should be at least be in sepia.
Yeah, sepia is a better choice.
Yeah. You know, for the longest time, I didn't know that the monochrome parts of Wizard of Oz were supposed to be sepia and not black and white.
They're
Like for
kind
some reason, the black and white portions for years were shown in black and white,
Oh.
and not sepia. I know that sentence just sounded completely dumb.
It's interesting, actually. So, speaking about things that are not this fucking movie, there was an interesting YouTube video I saw about the Return to Oz movie that I thought was actually very interesting. It broke down how, like, it's considered a really weird movie, even though it's very close to the vision of the author.
Mm.
And of course, he brought up some of the author's more unsavory thoughts.
I forget who voiced this guy.
Was it like Paul?
I don't know.
Or
We'll see at the end.
well, he said this is
Funny,
Disney.
it's like going off model in between frames and shit.
Yeah, but the smoke guy, like, could it have been Jim Cummings?
No, it's not Jim Cummings. I would have remembered that.
Well, he is a fucking what's it called? Vocal chameleon. He could sound
Yeah.
like anybody.
In one case, he literally did. He voiced half the song in The Lion King.
Yeah. And he got Disney into a lawsuit with Louis Prima's widow.
That sucks. I think that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't impersonate this dead person.
I think it's more than that.
Huh?
Nothing. Never mind.
God, I hate the animation of this era.
Oh yeah, crack. Now we're talking.
You've got money, Michael, but
I keep wanting her to speak with a Russian accent now.
come on, Michael. You're not gonna chicken out on your
What the fuck kind of pipe is that?
I don't know.
It just looks like a regular fucking pipe.
Hey, give me that back.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now this is a case where the animation in this cartoon actually beats the series that this character comes from.
Barely.
Yeah. Because
He doesn't stay off. He doesn't become off model. He doesn't transform into another turtle mid scene.
that would be funny because he's the only turtle in this. What happened to the... I just lost audio.
Yeah, copyright.
Oh, okay. Well,
we don't need to hear. Is it
yeah,
Rob Paulson or who? No, it's not Rob Paulson. It's fucking who's his name?
Something Townsend. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I always forget this guy's name. I wanted to say Pete Townsend. I'm like, no,
Hey, where Townsend?
I don't know.
But there was, the turtles were Rob Paulson, Cam Clark, Quick Bunny guy whose name I forget.
Yeah, I should remember his name, but I don't.
Is that Frank Welker doing Kermit?
Yeah, that's Frank Welker.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and this is... Oh my God, what's her name? She just... No, wait. I'm thinking of a different actress. It's like one of the female actors in this passed away recently. It's I can't remember her name.
Oh, the smoke is George C. Scott.
Ah, that's it.
You can't tell because he's not telling a story about a carp in the bathtub. Yeah, that's a funny story, Neil. There's a YouTube chef named whose channel is called Binging with Babish, and he does like recipes from TV shows and movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he has people asking for requests, and I jokingly put the request the carp from Exorcist 3. Simply because I want him to fucking fill his bathtub with water and put a carp in it for a week.
Where are we now? We're inside me? This
Inception.
Pretty cool, huh?
What's really weird is the scene before when they were fucking on the fucking, you know, where'd Gonzo come from? He wasn't there before.
Kind of butted his way in.
Like, but when they were on the actual roller coaster part, they were fucking, Miss Piggy actually had some decent animation, but now it's back to the shitty animation.
Yeah, this is another one. The Muppet Babies, the later seasons were not animated very well, and it's another example of where the characters in this cartoon are animated better than the actual series.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, the first. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna fucking say that a lot. Like, DuckTales, at least before they got the Super DuckTales, had some of the best coordination of, what was left of Disney's television animation and overseas animation.
Mm-hmm.
Once they had Super DuckTales, it went to shit.
And I don't remember what the later DuckTales seasons looked like, but some of the other shows looked alright. They had a really good Australian studio that did a lot of like Goof Troop and some of the other shows. Goof Troop had some good animation.
YouTube did. You know what show actually had surprisingly good animation that was like a weird sleeper Disney cartoon that like snuck in at the very end? No one remembers.
What?
Quack Pack.
Quack Pack.
Oh.
The name rings a bell.
The premise is awful. It's
Its fucking
basically,
character designs are awful.
yeah, basically they were like, let's update Huey, Dewey, and Louie and
Oh
Donald.
my god, I remember this now.
Yeah, the animation was surprisingly good for that era of like that was the very tail end of Disney Afternoon,
That's right, it was.
and it like snuck in at the very end. It's like barely Disney Afternoon. Some people who are big Disney Afternoon guys are like, oh, it's not actually really Disney Afternoon, and, but but they want to count Marsupilami, so fuck them.
I noticed that they keep screwing up Alf's eyes in this cartoon.
Yeah.
They're putting his iris where where the highlight should be.
Weird dream. The cartoon characters tell me not to do drugs.
Yeah.
I thought I told you to stay out of here. Pooh Bear wants to know why you don't talk to Mom and Dad.
Some weirdly good animation for this cartoon.
Be like it was before.
Like,
What if the sound keeps dropping?
the daughter is obviously white as fuck because she has the blue eyes and blonde hair and really pale complexion. But the brother is like looks Hispanic as fuck.
The milkman baby.
He's just been to a tan salon. That's all. Maybe they're half siblings.
Don't tell me I'm not the only one who does this, please, because
Maybe he's in the beginnings of jaundice and turned fucking
there's
yellow.
there's a whole family dynamic that is a subplot that never gets mentioned here.
yeah, it's a bad sign when you look in the mirror and see Alf.
Yeah.
I just saw myself. Man, I look great.
Uh-huh. The thing is, we don't always see things the way they really are.
It,
This one, for instance. What do you
like, so many people miss the point of Alf. Alf is just a regular guy from his planet. He's not like a scientist
I
or
can't believe Fusco actually agreed to this.
yeah. But like I said, Alf is just a regular guy. His name is Gordon Shumway. He's like a really average guy. Like when he crashed his ship,
Why the fuck does he look like Gollum in the fucking?
because they're taking away his precious.
That's what marijuana does to you.
That's not what fucking marijuana.
I know, that's the joke.
No, it's. I remember I showed Red the first episode of Dragnet.
Mm-hmm.
Only because the name of the first perpetrator in Dragnet, the kid, doing drugs. What was his name again? Red?
Ben Carver.
Benjamin Carver. Yes. and they called him Blue Boy because he painted his face blue.
Who are you?
A friend of your brother's.
And they were like,
This weird thing, Ben, that I can tell that you're avoiding talking about this fucking goddamn cartoon.
yes, because this cartoon sucks. And I can only say it sucks so many times before it becomes like repetitive. Oh look, the animation sucks. Oh, the voice actors sound like they don't want to be there. Oh, the plot's insipid and awful. It's
I
not
refuse
showing
to
what
believe
drugs are
that.
like.
I refuse to believe that Paul Fusco didn't partake in drugs himself. It's kind of
I can
like
guarantee you, like, all these fucking voice actors are druggies.
yeah, it's kind of like that concert tour that a bunch of heavy metal artists did in the late '80s. It was kind of like an anti-drug movement, but in reality, they were all on drugs. It's like Ozzy Osbourne and fucking Motley Crue telling you to stay off drugs. They even did a whole album about it, where they all did a bunch of cover songs based on artists who died from drug and alcohol overdoses. It's really weird.
Like gravity is not a thing that's understood in this whole sequence. I don't
No.
like.
This is so weirdly abstract. It's like, what is even going on?
It reminds me of the fucking uh, boat scene from Willy Wonka. Is he gonna go in an amusement park ride and wind up in the world of Dungeons and Dragons?
I wish. And then they tell him not to do drugs.
And then
What's happening?
and then he crashes into another planet, and He-Man shows up and tells him not to do drugs.
Oh no.
Didn't He-Man have an anti-drug episode?
I'm sure they did. Transformers had an anti-drug episode.
G.I. Joe had one too, where the Joes and Cobra agreed to go after a drug dealer.
Oh.
Because Cobra Commander's like, I'm a terrorist. I tried to blow up the Statue of Liberty. I tried to kill thousands of people. But drugs? No.
Yeah, I've explained this before. That it's kind of like if the U.S. military teamed up with Al Qaeda to go after El Chapo. It's like there's clearly a priority problem here.
Or that issue of fucking Marvel Comics where 9/11 happened and Doctor Doom's crying.
Yeah, that is completely wrong. Because that's something Doctor Doom would do.
That's something Doctor Doom has done.
You wouldn't do that.
Well, something of that scale is what I mean. But you get my point. It's like Cobra, like Cobra Commander going, drugs? No. I like the fucking economic model that Cobra has does not allow drug dealing.
My only solace in that is that it was from one of the Deke seasons. And not a Sunbow.
Let me guess, that's on Blanchard's short list of favorite episodes.
I don't know. I don't really want to know.
Okay. See, they aren't saying anything new. They're saying, oh, drugs make you sick. Drugs make you lose coordination. Drugs age you quickly. Drugs make you mean. And this is the fifth time they all shut up and said the same thing over and over again.
You know what they're doing? They're piling on him with peer pressure.
Yes.
Which I always thought was so hypocritical of the D.A.R.E program. I'm like, well, you're just telling me to avoid the very thing that you're doing.
Heroin in there? What the fuck?
I don't know.
No, I don't know what that shit is. I see the spool, I see a bunch of blunts, and that's it.
I saw a needle.
What was that poster on the wall? It looked like Balto. See, they needed to expand this to an hour and include even more cartoons. Optimus Prime shows up. Tommy, don't do drugs.
You know, I think Don Bluth would actually agree to join in on this, but him and Disney did not have a good relationship at this point.
That's what happens when you make the Black Cauldron.
I think he was gone by then.
Yeah, that's my point. Is they didn't have a good relationship. But
Yeah.
Don Bluth was also, if correct me if I'm wrong, I remember hearing he was extremely religious
Mm-hmm.
and also like really bleeding like PSAs and stuff.
If I remember correctly, you could buy this poster.
Yeah. Oh, they spared us having to listen to the end
Like,
song.
share, subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was interesting.
Yes, we're sorry we didn't talk about the plot of
No, we
kid
did
does
just fine.
kid does drugs. Cartoon characters tell him not to do drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's animation goes from serviceable to really bad. Voice actors sound bored. There's your fucking review.
Yeah.